Hello and welcome to this course on AWK Basics. My name is Sijesh, and this video we will see what are the different ways to use AWK command. The one we have already seen as a single command. So you write everything in a single command line, and final is the file name or that we pass as an argument. So the main plus point is like you can write everything in a single line and execute. The negative of this is like if you want to store this for a future purpose, so that will be a bit difficult. So here I'm using the same input file that we used in our previous demo, and we use awk. So we have a single quote and we have begin block, opening and closing brace, and then we have our main awk code block. Okay, so then finally we have an optional end. So this begin and end are optional, and you have to write a single quote. So between begin and end we have the single quote, and the begin will execute it at the once and end will execute it at the end. So everything you have to include inside the single quote, and finally you have to write the file name. So on which file you want to do this processing, you have to pass that as a final argument. So we have everything here, so including begin and end into single quote, and you have to write something here like print $2. So I want to print the second field from each line, and the begin you can write something like this, so printing something like header or something. So the begin will execute it before processing this file, and end, once everything or complete processing is done, the end block will get executed. So you can print or write something here to just to include this end. So here you can see it has printed header and end, and in between we have the process lines. So that is $2. So $2 stands for the second field. So it took the entire file as input and took line by line, and from each line it's printing second field. So you can see the name, so that is printed, and the begin and end block also executed. That is the reason you can see the header and end in the output. So how this process, like I've already explained. So the awk will take input file and read line by line. So for each line, so it do that logic. So whatever the things we have written, it take the line by line and do that. So $2 stands for the second field. The print means it will print that second field. So we have everything here in the quote, single quote. So if you want, there is another option that we can use a file and write all your awk logic into that file. So there also we can have a begin and end our main block. So I'm going to create a file called test1.awk. So by default you can use this AWK as extension, but any extension will work here also. So first thing, you need to have a begin block, and again this is an optional one, and you have a main block, and finally we have an end block. Okay. So begin, you can write something here like the printing or initialization. I'm just printing header or hello header something. Okay, so that will execute it once. I'm doing a print $2, so that will print the second field from each line. And end block, so I'm just printing ending or something, so that will execute it at the end of the processing. So here everything looks same, but only thing is you can write into a different line. Also there is no need of the single quote. So once everything is done, we can go ahead and save. Okay. So also we have an option to add the comments. You can use the hash so that while processing, awk will not consider that line. So this is similar to any other programming language where we use hash for representing the comments. Here beginning, ending, whatever the logics we have added here, you can comment using hash. And how we can execute this is awk, then -f, whatever the definition or awk configuration file, then the final argument is the file name. So here you can see it worked in the same way. So begin part is executed and end is executed, and whatever the contents of the file is processed using the awk logic. So here also we pass the file name as an argument. That is the last argument that we have passed. And so another option is like rather than passing this file as argument, you can pass standard output as an argument, the cat file1 and then pipe whatever the contents the cat file1 will generate. So that I redirected to this awk. So this way you can redirect whatever the output generated by the set of comments at the first phase, you can pass to this awk using the pipe. So here we need now to pass file name as argument. You can redirect standard output using the pipe. So next I'm just having a line, everything in a line. I want to save this thing into a file, that too in a formatted way. So I can use -profile option. So this profile option will print whatever the contents within the single quote into a file, that too in a formatted way. You just remember -profile, and it will work in the same way like any other awk statement, but only difference is it will generate a file awkprof.out that contain the awk configuration. So we can just open and see. So first few lines are the comments, and we have a begin and a rule part and end block. So this is generated by awk, and it's having the similar structure that we have created. And also we can save this file with this name, or we can rename and use. And only the option you need to use is -profile. So we can test this using awk-f, then that file, then input file. So that will work in the same way that this command line works. So as I said, there is no need to have this into an AWK extension. You can have the file with any extension. So only thing you need to remember -profile for generating this awkprof.out file. Hope this is very clear to you. Thank you for watching this video. We will see. Bye.